It has been 6 months since the plea deal. That is 6 months since we have slept under the same roof together. That is 6 months since my husband was allowed to see or speak to his son, despite multiple court orders upholding his parental rights and requiring minimum weekly visitation for him. But it doesn't matter that he does his part and make the phone calls. It doesn't matter that we do our part and keep the phone paid. What matters is whether my stepson is allowed to answer. And he has not been allowed to answer. Meanwhile, in that 6 months, my husband has gone back to the nightmare that is the county jail. LaFleur County sucked the first time around. He had COVID 3 times and had to beg for an aspirin for days rather than being treated by an actual doctor who treats you like an actual human. Thanks, Turnkey Health Clinic. Google them, it's not pretty. Meanwhile, there was violence, there was everything else, and nothing was done about it. But he survived it the first time around, barely, and he survived it the second time around. Thankfully, once he went back in, he was only in for a couple of weeks. But he was sent to Lexington, which is not better. It is worse. Lexington is hell on earth. It is filthy, oppressively hot all the time, filled with vermin, bugs, rats, roaches, disease. At least 3 people died, that I know about. And they were not ordinary deaths. They were not, this person is old and sick and couldn't handle it. No, this is violence, suicide, things I probably can't even talk about. But he survived. He survived the conditions, the danger, the isolation, sleep deprivation, and then there was prison. And prison is its own survival situation. And yet here he is. He's still making the best of the life he has. He's still doing the best he can with what he has, making some kind of a life for himself and making a life for us together. And he's still making progress, still being who he is. And I tell him I'm proud of him, and he doesn't know why. But I am proud of him. You mentioned looking at the time behind us as an accomplishment rather than the time ahead of us as something looming. And since he said that, I have been thinking about it, because I think a lot about the things that he says, and I probably think too much about our situation, but I do think about it, and I have warmed to the idea. Nothing has been easy. Maybe it hasn't been as hard for me as for him, but I've survived this 6 months too. And I went from at one point thinking that we were going to lose everything and that it was going to be my fault to at least materially doing better than I ever have. Emotionally, it's still difficult. It will continue to be difficult until he is home where he belongs. Until I'm with him where I belong. But seeing each other helps. And we can see each other now. Visits exist and they are invaluable. We are blessed to be able to talk on the phone every night. We stay connected. Securus is a pain to use, but it is really a resource that we could not do without. So there's mail, there's texting, there are pictures and video that I can send him. He still can't send me any kind of pictures or video. He can't take pictures and video when we visit. So that is something that bothers me. Because I have pictures of him. I have pictures of him going back to when he was a baby. But I don't have a picture of him yesterday. Last week. When we're together, I can't just... It's something that I wish could change, and something that we have brought up with some of the people who can change it. Right now, I'm just happy we can see each other and speak to each other. And it does help knowing that it will eventually be over. Sometimes I worry because there's not a lot that I can do in the long run. There's not a lot I can do about the past. I can't unlie the lies that have been told about him. I can't right the wrongs that LaFleur County did to him. I can't unpoison the minds of the people that he used to help. I haven't been able to save my stepson, but I've tried. For whatever it's worth, I've tried to do everything within the law and within my ability. I can't change what other people do, but I can speak my truth and his truth, and I can be here in case something ever does happen to where I'm in a position that I can help. I can be there when he calls. I can be there when the phone rings, if he calls me from where he is. Even if I can't be by his side, I can let him know that I'm still his wife. I can be here when my stepson grows up. Really, it won't be long. He's already so grown up already. I can just be here, persistently and truly here, living my life, giving my life to the people and the things that matter most. And as long as I'm here another day, and he's here another day, and we're with each other another day, I know that we're going to get through it. And we're going to keep surviving. So here's to 6 months. It sucked a lot. It's going to continue to suck. Let's do another.